Hello and welcome to today's devotion for Thursday the 19th of November. In the daily readings in the Methodist Prayer Handbook, as you most likely know, each day there is a reading from either the Old or the New Testament, a hymn from the hymn book Singing the Faith, and a reading from the Psalms. And the selection for today is, I think, a real treasure trove of delights. The hymn for today is number 456 in Singing the Faith. And it's the hymn, "And Are We Yet Alive?", which, so I'm told, is sung at the start of the Methodist conference, of every Methodist conference. And the conference is, of course, the governing body of the Methodist Church, which meets annually to discuss matters relating to the church. The final part of the hymn reads as follows: "Praise ye the Lord, Alleluia. Praise ye the Lord, Alleluia. Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Praise ye the Lord." What wonderful words of celebration. The whole hymn is worth a read too, and it's number 707 in Hymns and Psalms. The psalm for today is Psalm 27, which is one of my favourites, and it's full of familiar verses and words of trust in God and the promise of God's presence with us. And it definitely merits being read aloud with enthusiasm if you get the chance today. Just read the last couple of verses, for example. "I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." The psalm talks about protection, about God's protection from our enemies, which got me wondering who or what might be my enemy at this time. And I suppose one such enemy might be the fact of being cut off at the moment from so much that feeds me, that brings joy into my life. There's so much that I can do, but sometimes it can feel all that much harder or take up all that much more effort because of what's missing. Something that I am sure we are all experiencing a lot of. As part of this Methodist Year of Prayer, there is a weekly prayer meeting which is open to all via Zoom or Facebook, which takes place on a Tuesday lunchtime for 15 minutes. This week's meeting was led by Elaine Lindridge, our district evangelism enabler. And part of what she was saying was about how she felt that she was sulking with God because of all the projects that she was involved in, which have had to be put on hold because of the pandemic. Again, something that we can perhaps all relate to. But then, if it wasn't for the pandemic, my mum wouldn't be able to go to church on a Sunday morning. As I've said a few times, she hasn't physically been able to go to church for a while, but now that her church is meeting on Zoom, she is able to go every Sunday. Praise God. There are gleams of hope and so many positives to hold on to when we do start looking for them. It was a blessing to know when the second lockdown was announced that there were already services on Zoom that were up and running and that we could go to. And there are also things to look forward to. In our reading from Genesis for today. It's the passage when Jacob, or Israel, is reunited with Joseph, the son who he thought was dead and who he would never see again, now is alive, and he's going to be reunited with him. Genesis 46 verses 1 to 7 and 28 to 30 look ahead to and then describe this joyful reunion. Yesterday, as I was reflecting on these readings and the hymn in preparation for today's devotion, even as the wind was bringing over the rain, which I could see approaching from a distance, it was also bringing to me the sound of children out playing during their lunchtime at Benfield Side School. And that noise was a noise that spoke to me of joy and of life and of fun and vitality. If you get the chance today, look up the readings that I have mentioned, and I'm sure they will bring you joy, along with that promise of God's love and constant presence with us, whatever. So let us reflect on what joy we might find today and what joy we can share with others. God bless.